So, right now, let's talk about motivation, what it is, and how to fan those embers into a flame and keep that going. So, first off, let's acknowledge that motivating yourself is definitely hard work. It's especially difficult because people seem to have a natural aversion to persistent effort, and no amount of caffeine or inspirational posters can fix that. However, it's important to note that effective self motivation is one of the main things that distinguishes a high achieving professional from everyone else. So, if this is one of your strengths, definitely make sure to mention this if you're ever in a job interview or any time when you need to self promote. So, how do you keep pushing forward even when you don't feel like it? Well, to a certain extent, motivation is very personal. So, what gets you going might not do anything for the next person. And some individuals, they do seem to have more drive than others. So make sure you take all this into consideration. And this is especially important if you ever go into management. Remember, what motivates one employee doesn't necessarily motivate another. However, research shows that there are some strategies that seem to work when it comes to motivation. So there are some things that will work in general. So before we get any further, what is motivation? Motivation is a drive to achieve your goals or needs, and it's influenced by how much you want the goal, what you will gain, and your personal expectations. So we know what motivation is, but why is it so important? It's important because it provides you with goals to work towards. It helps you to solve problems, which is again one of those traits that all employers are always looking for. It helps you change old habits, which is always a good thing. Well, if it's a bad habit, and it helps you cope with challenges and opportunities, right? And so you look at these points right here, and these are all the types of things that make you successful in your career and just in life in general. Here's something to consider. Most people struggle with motivation in general, but it's even more challenging if you have mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. If you are dealing with depression or anxiety, here are some tips to help you with motivation. Set yourself one specific achievable goal, right? Things seem less overwhelming if you break it down. Think about how to include that goal in your life, what you need to make it happen, and then put a time frame on it, such as a week or two. It's just more realistic if you put a time frame to it. Make sure you break down your goal into small pieces, easy tasks, and set regular reminders. So if you have Google Calendar or just the alarm clock on your phone, make sure you set reminders to keep your task in motion. And so, something that's really important, and not everyone has the privilege of this, but if you do, use your family and friends as support. Tell them about your goals and encourage them to help keep you motivated. These will definitely help you out in the process. So, now let's talk about some ways to keep on track to keep that motivation going. So, make your goal part of your routine by using a diary or app for reminders. I like Google Calendar to keep me on track. Make sure they use positive self talk because it's important and effective in managing depression or anxiety. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I can try. Instead of saying, I haven't done something, say, I haven't done it yet. Mindfulness helps keep you relaxed and focused. So if meditation works for you, then make sure you do that. Start a class or join a support group. Support groups can be as effective as professional help. And also make sure to reward yourself when you have completed a step or a goal. So, when you get that ember of motivation fanned into a flame, it's important to stay motivated. And some ways you can do that are by regularly reviewing your goals and progress. Just seeing the progress is a great motivator in itself, and it also helps with your self esteem. Continue to set new goals. Think about what you want to achieve next week, next month, and next year. Tackle one goal at a time so you don't feel overwhelmed. And make sure you keep the momentum up. It takes up to 3 months to develop a new habit. So keeping the momentum and routine helps it feel more automatic over time. Right? You're just building those neural pathways, and it's all part of the growth mindset, which one of my favorite topics. So another way to stay motivated is to find a mentor. A mentor is someone who is experienced in the habit you want to change. Finding social or support groups with the same interests can help you find a mentor. Also, make sure you surround yourself with positive people. Positive friends and family enhance your positive self talk, which also helps to manage the symptoms of depression and anxiety. Also, use exercise as one of your daily goals to improve your mental health. So, what happens if you lose your motivation? Setbacks are normal, but developing resilience can help you carry on and pick up where you left off. Here are some tips to help you find your motivation if you lose it. So, one thing you can do if you lose your motivation is review your goals and see if they are realistic in the time frame you have set. You may need to break your goal down further into smaller and more achievable goals. This makes things less overwhelming. So, something else you can do if you've lost your motivation is remember why you wanted to get motivated or reach that goal in the first place. This can really help with your intrinsic motivation, which is that self motivation. And this is the most powerful kind of motivation. Something else you can do is take motivation from others. Feel inspired by reading a book. Talk to your mentor, talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to anyone who's reached similar goals to the ones you've set. And finally, if you feel yourself losing motivation, sometimes you just need to take a break and just recharge your batteries. So if you feel yourself burning out, this is definitely a way to lose motivation. Try not to let this happen and just recharge your batteries as needed.